Hello, it's Sunday Funday! Yay! I'm always gonna do like a yay. I should like program on one. Yes, I am back with Sunday Funday. The Megan is here as decoration again.
I was say yet again. I'm set decoration.
Yeah, and I saw Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher. Pardon me, I took school. Jack Reacher. I think it's Never Go Back. Or never, yeah, it's Never Go Back. I can't remember
I was
the
say you saw the
subtitles.
movie.
To be fair, they never showed the title except for I think like 5 seconds or like a second. Boom, 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 done. Like, oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, well, Jack Reacher 2. There we go. That's what this is. This is the second Jack Reacher movie. Those of you who are completely not in the know, I am messing with words. I am doing to words what garbage disposals do to junk. Mushing them up and throwing them out. But yes, this is the second Jack Reacher movie. And yes, I have actually seen the first movie. So hey, I actually saw the original before I saw the sequel. Which usually helps. So, real quick, short thoughts before I actually go into spoilers and everything. How was it? It was good. It's not a particularly great movie. It has flaws. And they're much more pronounced than in The Accountant and whatnot. But this is still a good movie. Oh, sorry. I have my Xbox One controller and I forgot my Xbox One's on. I just hit something and just clunk down. I'm like, oh wait, that's really loud. But, yeah, this is not a bad movie by any circumstance, by me saying it's good and it's not great though. It's a solid film. It's something you would turn on, watch, enjoy, and then maybe you'll get it at the $5 bin in Walmart. Then it gets this movie. The first one's already there. And I think it only came out like a couple of years ago or so. Like 2014 or 2013. But what is this movie about? It's about a lot, really. This movie's biggest issue and my issue I have had with the Jack Reacher novels, because I've actually read one. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not a huge mystery person. I'm more sci-fi, horror, stuff like that. Mysteries just aren't for me. Unless they're a very good mystery. And usually they're decent at best.
Well, like what?
If I want a good mystery, I want a good whodunit. You know, like who killed these people and everything.
The Butler did it.
What?
The Butler did it.
Yeah, I want something that, you wouldn't guess, but there were clues the more you think about it. It's like, wait, there were clues that this person did this or that. Like, The Accountant, again, to speak about a really, really good movie that you should go see instead of Boo. If you're seeing Boo, I pray for you. Why you're suffering through a Medea film, I have no reason why.
My coworker said he's going to be seeing that.
Ugh. The sad part was there were two people in front of us. For some reason, they bought 3 tickets to go see that at different showtimes too. It's like, so is this how y'all are making this movie the #1 grossing movie by just like inflating it artificially? I mean, that's the only way I can figure out. Because I mean, from what I've heard, a lot of people are like, this movie's not that good. But either way, I don't want to talk about Medea. Fuck Medea. Let's talk about Jack Reacher. But to speak about the mystery here, it is a bit convoluted, and much like with all the Jack Reacher novels that I know of, most of it has to deal with the fact something to deal with the fact that Jack Reacher used to be in military police. Now, a lot of people, when you think of MPs, you think of the guys who just keep soldiers from wanting to kill each other over stupid things. He actually was more of an investigative type, similar to what you would think from NCIS, though a lot cooler. And a lot less, I want to hang myself because the show's so terrible. He's more like that. He will kick your ass and he will be able to figure out the mystery. And that's what this is. A another MP who's sort of like him, though she's a female, who's played by, I'm going to butcher her name, I think it's Colby Smulders?
Colby Smulders.
I always see a D for some reason. Maria Hill from the Marvel Universe, or Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's whenever I've realized something with this lady. And I'm so sorry, Colby. You're very one note. Mm-hmm. Like, she plays the hard-ass woman part very well as Maria Hill. She does it very well in any of the Marvel stuff. And I'm just like, alright, well, maybe we'll see a different thing. That's all she can do in this movie.
She's also in How I Met Your Mother.
I refuse to acknowledge that is something. Like all of CBS's abortions of comedy that they have infected upon humanity. You know, I just want to ignore that those are a thing. It's like, those are not shows. Those are not even something. They are less than air.
I'm just saying, like, she doesn't seem to be one note. I mean,
she is very one note.
Not that I really watched How I Met Your Mother.
I'm just saying, from what I know her from, you know, the real things she's actually been in, she's kind of just...
you're actually counting?
No, just the stuff she's actually been in. I don't know what those other things are you're talking about. That doesn't exist. How would anybody want to watch a show that is just one of the worst things ever next to Big Bang Theory? Which is just, hey, we know nerds. No, you don't. Just because you buy a Loot Crate doesn't mean you know nerds. Because you'll still look at it and go, what does this mean? I'm going to get my shirt. Yes, I'm wearing Deadpool. Well, that's why I wore Deadpool. Just like, yeah, Deadpool. Mine. But what I'm saying is, in this, she just plays the badass woman. And there's times when she's supposed to be a little bit more... What's the word I'm looking for?
Subdued?
Sympathetic. She's supposed to be a lot more sympathetic. She's supposed to be a lot more, you know, worried about the fact that she lost two people. That they got killed, and they can't decide is it Iraq or if it's Afghanistan. They kind of bounce around. I think it's supposed to be in Afghanistan. It's the only one that kind of makes sense. Especially since the incident that sparks her investigating this one pretty much paramilitary force, which I don't know if this was actually in the book, but they're called Paraforce. It's like, oh my god, that is the name you came up with? I could give that to a 5-year-old. Give him like, hey, paramilitary force, come up with the name Paraforce? And there we go, I got the name.
It does seem rather simplistic.
Yeah, it's like, I figure why not like, just call them Blackwater. Because that's what they are, they're Blackwater. I think it's Blackwater's thing. Well, military mercenaries in all essence. Government contractors and everything, they kill people for money. And they come through the door, oh shit! Door, it's a window, who cares? I am off today. But
Is it different how?
But she did lose two people under her command, and she feels personally responsible, and she's supposed to, you know, really be sad over it. You know, like, but she's determined as well, and instead she just kind of seems like she's a little annoyed by it, because she's being the badass, the hard-ass woman. It's like, oh, okay, so Colby Smulders' range is a little limited. But it does work throughout most of this movie. Now, where this movie has its faults beyond Colby Smulders, I think I'm butchering her name. Maria Hill. I'm just going to call her Maria Hill because I know how...
Colby, like Colby Jack.
Yeah, I keep calling her Colby, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right.
Smulders?
Yeah, Smulders. It's something that a fire does. It's Smulders.
Kind of like Mulder.
Or, you know, a smolder, you know. Something a fire does
Mulder,
do.
like...
But it's a sm. There's an S.
Mulder and Scully. Like that. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like Mulder.
Yeah, but Smulders is her last name. That's what I'm saying. You're not...
I know, but it's...
Smolder is a word. Smoldering is something that fires do. When they're done, they're put out.
I know, but that has an O instead of a U. I'm saying it's pronounced like Mulder from Mulder and Scully.
But so is it pronounced like smolder. Here's where you're, you know, refusing to admit the fact that just because the spelling's different doesn't mean the pronunciation's different.
I'm just saying
that you're not making the point. I'm just saying, like, I don't care. Maria Hill, who cares? I don't care. I'm not gonna dig into it. I don't care. Whatever. Your name's Maria Hill for the rest of your life because that's all you can play. If you ever play like anything else, it's gonna have to be a badass because that's all you can do. Sorry. But in this, she doesn't enlist Jack Reacher, but Jack Reacher just kind of shows up like he does throughout most of his stuff, and he's like, fuck you all, I'm just gonna kick everybody's ass and find out the truth. And really, that's all there is to it. There is something shady going on with a mercenary group. They're doing something shady to the U.S. government, and they're making money in the way you can think if they're in Afghanistan, it has to deal with opium. And honestly, that's one of the issues with this movie. The story, or the mystery, is kind of what you would expect if you can think a little bit. You need to know a little bit about how the world works. Because if you are a idiot, you will know nothing about Afghanistan, not realize it's the biggest opium producer throughout the entire world. That's the reason why the Taliban were in power. It wasn't.
That's when we get death threats from Afghanistan.
What are they gonna do? I'm saying the reason why the Taliban were actually in power was actually because of the fact that they controlled the opium. That's the reason why. And it's partial reason why people try to say, oh, it's the reason why we invaded Afghanistan. Yes, a whole bunch of other stupid conflicts and everything. If you try to break into geopolitics, your brain can blow up. Because trying to figure out all the different reasonings is trying to figure out a Rubik's Cube with your fingers cut off, your eyes blindfolded, and your tongue snapped out of your brain. You can't even use that to spin the cubes or anything. You gotta use your mouth. Anyway. But Jack Reacher is supposed to figure out why this is happening. And like I said, this mystery is kind of there, but if you do know something about, how things do, why the world turns, you would guess where the ending's going. And I guessed it kind of. I was like, alright, yeah, it's probably that. Oh, yeah, totally. Now, like I said, simplistic mystery isn't the worst thing in the world. The problem is that it feels like the mystery's constantly taking backseat to one major story. And that is over this young girl. She's got to be 18 or 19. She's supposed to be 15. She looks about as 15 as my foot looks like it's, a hand. Can't help it. Well, I got to say, my similes are not always the best. But there is a mystery surrounding it because they think she's possibly Jack Reacher's daughter. And I'll just go ahead and spoil the ending for you. No, she's not. It's like, so that whole thing was pointless. It would have been a lot more effective if they would have said, we're still not sure. You could have future stuff for the franchise, because this is now technically a franchise since it's got a sequel. You could have built more into that. You could have had this girl who was introduced and played a pretty decent part in this movie. You could have had her come up and further things. There's a lot to suggest she actually has a lot connected with Jack Reacher. She acts like him in ways, which is the reason why the whole fake out really comes off weak and it comes out of left field. And not only that, but it makes the whole story pointless. It's like, well, why did she need to be here? Why did she need to be brought up at all? There was no need for her. Needed for her. No needed. Word's good. And that's one of my issues with it. Because beyond that, Tom Cruise is still actually a really good Jack Reacher, even though a lot of people have issues, because I know my mother and brother have issues because Jack Reacher in the books is like nearly 7 foot tall and he's an Aryan. Find me one that's not Dolph Lundgren and I will give you $1 million. Although I think Dolph Lundgren is not Aryan still, but I know he's foreign enough for them to think he's Aryan. Mm-hmm. But it's like, really, Tom Cruise is going to be one of your best bets because he is an action star who does look like an older, grizzled war veteran. which is what Jack Reacher is. He's an older gentleman who's done a bunch of shit and dealt with a bunch of shit, so he knows his way around things. You know what I mean? So it's why I don't mind Tom Cruise in a role, especially since he is intimidating as hell.
And he is a action movie veteran.
Yeah, he does a lot of his own stunts and everything, which makes him really, you know, a lot of his like punches he takes really oof. Because you're really thinking that is Tom Cruise probably taking, especially a lot of most of this in terms of fight scenes are very brutal, very fisticuffs. You know, put 'em on. And that's one of the strengths of the first movie. It's a strength here. The action is very good, though I would say this actually is very brief in terms of action. There's not that much. It's very TMNT 2 or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 in the fact that there's a lot of character stuff, not a lot of action. Not like there was no action in either one of these movies, just they were a little bit briefer than, you know, we're used to in most other movies. This one, though, it plays to its strengths, but at the same time it has issues because we're constantly focusing on, is this girl Jack Reacher's daughter? I don't know if that's how the book is set up, because I know this is based on one of the Lee Child Jack Reacher books. But I'm not sure if that is the focus of most of his novel, but it does become tedious because of how it comes out. It would have been nice to not have a reveal. This is one of those times they showed too much. We didn't need to see this. And for what it's worth, at least, this daughter, or not daughter, is actually, she's a good actress. She does well, even though she can be a little grating and a little stupid. But it's never ultra stupid, you know, it's never anything where you're sitting there going, oh my god, you moron. There's like one instance, and simply that's so we can have a final fight between Jack Reacher and this other named guy, or other bad guy who's like the super assassin guy, who is literally, I think Michael Jai White is that his name? The guy from Terminator Genisys and Divergent and all that. I know he's also in Suicide Squad. He plays Captain Boomerang. I don't know. But pretty much he's the same character from the first movie. Except for in this movie, he's just psychotic. I think there was a lot more to this character. Maybe we even got his name, because he has no name. I don't know if they even said this man's name. He's just main bad guy who poses threat. Other than that, he's kind of insane. He's really intimidating. But he's not given a lot to do. Mostly because we're getting too much to deal with the not daughter stuff. Which, because of how it ends, it's kind of disappointing.
You'd rather let him more open-ended.
Yeah, or anything to make that the whole point of this girl being in the movie, you make her worthless otherwise. She was just a distraction from the main plot, because a good chunk of this movie is focused around her.
Yeah.
Like a lot of,
it's kind of like, well, why are you wasting my time?
Yeah, and that was a big issue. I'm like, I can't sit here and constantly deal with this character. She's not even going to be revealed to be his daughter. I mean, it's like, oh, we're going to have this great action movie, some of the best action, well shot action, great mystery to why these two factions are fighting, but we're going to spend 3 hours focusing on a tree. And not even a tree that factors into the fight, but just a tree that these two people happen to fall in love under. And it doesn't add to anything by the end of it all, because in reality, it was never real. You know, it's one of these like, okay, well, what's the point? I mean, it would be like if in Avatar, instead of them fighting against the, can't remember what they're called, the people from the Avatar planet.
The Na'vi?
Yeah, the Na'vi. It would be like if whenever they were about to go blow up the tree, eventually the guy just has a change of heart. It's like, alright, never mind, don't blow up the tree. End the movie. What the hell? We got no action in this movie. We got a decent love story, but kind of, you know, predictable love story, but Jesus, really? In this, we just get like all this art build up to nothing. And that's the thing. It just constantly feels like it's like a build up to meh. But hey, that's what you're gonna get with this movie. I could go more into this to kind of describe it, but really, the mystery is very simplistic, and it takes up maybe grand total of about 35 minutes of the film, and it's kind of bad. A 2-hour long movie and 35 minutes are built around the main plot thread. Whenever like an hour and 20 minutes of it are devoted to this girl, and she turns out to be completely pointless. It's like, why? In fact, they could have really built this like it could have been a better Die Hard 5. In the fact that she could have turned out to be his daughter, and then eventually he decides to train her eventually more in the ways. She decides to become an MP like her dad, and he has to train her and stuff like that, and they have to fight against this evil corporation or government agency and everything. And then her dad eventually dies in one of the movies, and she has to take up the mantle of being the next Jack Ness Reacher. I don't know, I can't figure out female version for Jack.
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie Reacher. That would actually be kind of neat. A little simplistic, some might say, but at least it would be an interesting story idea. Especially to pass the mantle on to a female character who's proven that she is very smart like him. And also she can be very quick-witted. Not just with her words, but also figuring out ways to get around bad guys. Like she's... Like, if y'all have seen Taken 2... I like Taken 2. It's a kind of turd. It does not help that the camera really has fits at times. Like, oh god, what are we doing? Oh, okay, it's the ground. Why are we looking at the ground? All right, look up. There we go. Oh, nope, never mind. You lost Liam Neeson. But his daughter in that kind of supposed to be seeming to take up the mantle from him, but they never fall through with it. It's just like a little brief 15, 20 minutes of the movie, and then like, oh, no man, here, shuffle you off screen. Thanks.
Yeah, people like taking Liam Neeson loved ones.
Yeah, it's like, why do you keep stealing people from this guy? He's gonna kill you. He kills everybody who steals people from him. Oh, that's neither here nor there.
Can I have a drink, please?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I need sugar and caffeine, because I don't know if you noticed I keep yawning over here.
Yeah, I have noticed.
It's past my bedtime.
But, it's time 10.
I made you a joke, honey. You ruined the joke.
Yes, I kill all jokes.
That's a payback for me killing your jokes.
Yeah. Or trying to over-explain Colby Smulders. Like, I don't care. But anyway, really, I think the issues with this movie more have to do with story writing and a lot less to do with how the action's set up or anything like that. Because when there's action, it's very good action. When there's character bits, they're very good character bits. Although Jack Reacher's a bit of a misogynist at times, so it's kind of annoying, but briefly it comes up and briefly it goes away. I get it gets brought up for like all 5 seconds and then it's gone the next scene. It's like, oh, okay, why was that there? So, to sum it all up, decent movie that just got stretched because they decided to add in some more storyline that doesn't go anywhere. This could lean easily into a 6 because it could be a movie that it's decent but it's not good. But like I already said, it's a good movie. You're going to still enjoy yourself. Sure, you might nitpick it as like I kind of am, I would even admit, because of the daughter stuff, not daughter stuff. But I think even people who really enjoy the movie will hate that ending.
I'm gonna say, they didn't really sound nitpicky so much as a big, giant waste of time. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's a big middle finger. It's sort of like, to me, Repo Man. Like, Repo Man, I really like Repo Man with Jude Law and, what's his name? Forrest Whitaker. It's a gory...
Yeah, like half of it's like, oh, it was all a dream or something.
Yeah, it's like, well, why? Why can't we just have this happy ending?
And just leave it. Leave it be.
Yeah, instead, no, fuck you, Jude Law's in a coma. Alright. Why? Or at least it's not as has an ending as knowing, where just like suddenly there's these people that have been kind of following Nicolas Cage and he's trying to figure out what this last one means. It looks like it looks like 33 and a particular date that's coming up soon. And all this, and these 3 people that have been following him are actually not people.
Aliens.
Yeah, they're aliens. And because the world's going to end thanks to a solar flare. No, that's not how solar flares work.
Mm-hmm.
Tien will tell you how that works. Dragon Ball Z reference.
Okay. Alrighty.
Or Tian Shan, as some people might know him as. But yeah, and it's like, I remember watching the end of it and going, what? Because literally, it comes from left field. It's like, they're like, we gotta end this some way. How can we sort of give it a happy ending even though we nuke the Earth? Aliens! Sure, Bob. But yeah.
It sounded to me more like, it's like, you know, this movie needs aliens.
Aliens! Bring up the aliens! Yeah, this movie its big issue is just that there is a storyline. It doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. Because by the end of it, you're like, why? So, like I said, this could be a 6, but honestly, because the acting's still good, even though Colby Smulders is very one note, but she does play that one note good, and this is a movie built around her strengths, so that works. Tom Cruise, still intimidating, still think the... Sorry, somebody just texted me. But still, it's like one of those that you really feel like he can still whip your ass, and he's pushing his... I think he's over 50 now. So...
Yeah, I think about right.
Yeah, it's still a good movie, just it has flaws. It has noticeable cracks. But it's nothing you're going to sit there and go, oh, worst movie of all year. It does feel kind of rough to run this up against The Accountant, which was such a smart, well-directed, well-acted movie that these kind of compare, because they are similar, both the kind of mystery movies in a way. But this one,
thrillers.
Yeah, but Accountant, hands down, much better. But to be fair, Accountant was fucking fantastic. So yeah, that was Jack Reacher.
It was
It was good. It could border on if you think way too much about the story. But if you can let go of the story bits and just enjoy the characters being what they are, it's a good movie. And that's what I started doing. I'm like, I'm just going to quit trying to worry about the story because it's not great. And I know it seems bad to try and ignore a chunk of a movie. I'm going to ignore this writing. But to be fair, this one, it feels a lot more secondary. So, since we haven't had enough thrillers, next week's another one. Because why release horror movies in Halloween or near Halloween anymore? Like the only horror movie I think that even came out this year in mass market was Ouija. And that's a sequel. No, Ouija. Ouija, Origin of Evil.
I know it's pronounced, but whatever.
Yeah, it's called Ouija. Ouija. It's Ouija board. It's what it's about. It's about Ouija board.
It's not how it's pronounced, though.
That's how everybody pronounces it. They even pronounce that in the movie. It's Ouija.
What? No,
it's
not Ouija.
pronounced Ouija.
It's an A at the end.
Yeah, but the A is not pronounced. Neither is anything else. Where's our W and an E? But somehow it's pronounced...
We for yes, and ya for...
That's 2 different languages.
Exactly.
That's French and German. The only thing they have in common is sort of tribal ancestry. They both came from Germanic tribes. Well, one was the Franks, the other one were... Oh, they were a whole bunch of stuff. Germans are mutts. Hey, y'all can freely admit, y'all, the whole area of Germany, it was controlled by like 17 different tribes at one point.
And we're both partially German.
Myself more than you, no offense.
Yeah.
Just because I have direct ancestry from one of my sides.
Like, I'm mostly like Scottish, Irish, English, and like some Germany.
Some Germany. Some Germany. I have it in my back pocket.
Some
German.
German blood flowing through my veins.
Mine directly from my
yeah, it's
mother's
not
side.
diluted as mine.
Yeah.
Although I have some on my mom's side as well.
Yeah, but still, it's fairly diluted. No offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, since next week we don't have any horror movies. I'm not seeing Ouija. I don't care. It came out this week anyway. I didn't see the first. Well, I saw like the first 15 minutes of Ouija, and I went, "Oh, so that was a movie, I think. Oh, it's ended. Oh, cool. Yeah." So we're gonna go see the third in a series I haven't seen any of. I'm gonna see Inferno, the new Dan Brown movie. Again, this will make 2 weeks in a row then for based on novels.
Well, if the right things are going, I'm gonna be working that day.
Yeah, I might want to work too, because I will have to watch Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code to probably understand this, because I have not seen a single one of them. I've seen like 5 minutes of each. So yeah.
I don't think either one of us ever read the book. I know I haven't.
Nope. I don't care. I'm not a mystery person. I told you, I'm not a big mystery person.
Yeah, I now own a copy of the first book, Angels and Demons, but who knows how long it's going to be until I get to that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, next week we'll be dealing with the Inferno. Not the Green Inferno, because that came out last year, technically. Eli Roth movie. And a joke. Or pun more than anything. Or wordplay, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see you next week with Inferno. And hey, if you want to go see Jack Reacher, go see Jack Reacher. Don't see Boo. Mm-hmm. No. If you hate yourself, go see it, I guess. But, don't see it. So, we will see y'all next week with Inferno.
Toodaloo.